My name is Monsignor Otterson, and this school is named after me.
My name is Archbishop Joseph MacNeil, and this is the school with my name on it.
My name is Sister Annata, and this is our school. Our school, because I truly believe that no one receives a title, a school, or an award on our own, that every person who has ever touched our life will be part of that school or part of that award.
Well, I'm a Manitoban. I was born in 1926 on a farm. The school was on the corner of our farm. It was a grade 1 to 8 farm school. So after grade 8, I took grade 9 and 10 by correspondence. And then a kindly priest from a neighboring parish offered to have me go and stay with him and his housekeeper so I could continue grade 12 in a little town in Manitoba called McCreary. After I graduated in grade 12, I got a scholarship and I wanted to be a nurse, but I was only 16, so I was too young to go into nursing. But at that time it was during the war, and there was such a shortage of teachers that they allowed grade 12 graduates to go out and teach for a year. So I taught for a year in another school, grades 1 to 8. Lived in a little teacherage, 10 miles from the closest town. No telephone, no car, water from a well, chopped your own wood, that sort of thing. That's how long ago it was.
I'm a grandfather Archbishop. I'm retired. I have no authority over the schools or over the children. I only come when I'm invited, and I guess I try to do what Jesus tried to do, was to try to relate to young people, try to relate to the teachers, and be myself. Well, because I was the Archbishop of Edmonton, then I had a connection as the Archbishop over the Catholic schools in the sense of helping them and to teach what the Catholic Church teaches. So my interest would be on the proclaiming of the faith, teaching the gospel. And as an Archbishop, I was invited to many schools. Once upon a time, we used to have sacramental preparation in all the schools, and I would get invited to many schools to visit the grade 6 class because they were coming up for confirmation. And I loved that. I loved the dialogue with the children.
When I was 17 years old, on my way to school each day, the thought would come, what should I do next year? Because I didn't know if I would teach or whatever I would do. And the thought would come, maybe you should be a sister. And I'd say, oh Lord, please don't ask me to do that, because I plan to be married and have a family. But that's the response that I got all the time. Maybe you should be a sister. And then one day, right after communion, the thought was so powerful, maybe you should be a sister, that I couldn't say no anymore because I realized it was God's plan for me. And so the following year, I was in the Halifax, where I got my training, and then I was in 1949, before you were born, that's when I was received into the Sisters of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul, Halifax.
Well, I was given the opportunity, like when I was ordained Archbishop, MacDonald was the Archbishop, and he wanted me to take a whirl at teaching, and I enjoyed it very much. I taught for 34 years with the Catholic school system, and I had a pretty good rapport with the students. I love children, and even though teenagers don't consider themselves children, they still are. They're still growing up. And I enjoyed that very, very much. I had a neighbor when I was growing up, lived across the lane, Mrs. Moore. And when I went to the seminary when I was 17, she said to my mother, "How can Fee become a priest when he loves children so much?"
But you know, the process the board has is they ask people to submit names. And I guess my name was submitted by a number of people, and the board said, yeah, probably I'll pass. And so I'm very, very grateful that they did. They could have, there were so many other people that they could have chosen. So many past superintendents and principals and so many board members, so many other people. So I'm very grateful.
I cried. It was, I have been honored in many ways. But for me, that was the greatest honor ever, because it's always been about the kids for me. And I was so thrilled to hear. I'd been so disappointed when we had to close down the academy that our girls, 4 daughters, had gone to, that it was such a thrill for me, and quite an unexpected one, to hear that there was going to be an all-girls school again. So that was a big thrill. I'd kind of heard through the grapevine about that, but to even consider that it would be named after me, like I thought it, back in my days, it was always saints that they were named after, and I knew I was no saint. So it was, and I still tear up when I think about it. It's such a great honor.
Well, I didn't know. I found out later that there'd been some campaigning on my behalf. I became teary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt extremely honored. Yes, I came by when it was in construction. I was at the groundbreaking
Okay.
of the school, and I saw it, and and I had toured the school before it was in use.
Yeah.
And of course, then they had a formal opening of the school in October, and I was at that. And many members of my family came to that, which was nice.
Well, I was very honored because I knew that usually when important buildings or education, for example, schools, are named after a person, it's usually years after they are dead. And in fact, here in this school, a little kindergarten or grade 1 child asked me, "Aren't you supposed to be dead?" Because her parents probably told her that most people the school is named after their dead. So I thought it was a real honor because, first of all, education was my whole life, to try to change people from the inside.
What I see is just wonderful. I mean, I see children who are happy. They seem to relate well to the teachers. The teachers seem to relate well to them. I'm absolutely amazed. You know, the number of students here has increased enormously over the years. And we would have these gatherings in the gymnasium, and that place is absolutely packed, absolutely packed. And to have a celebration there and have a wonderful, wonderful discipline, wonderful decorum. No problem of children leaving or children talking or whatever. And that speaks to the wonderful relationship that exists between the teachers and the children. So this is a happy school, and when I come to speak, they listen, and I can see that they're really listening, and I appreciate that.
Well, I would hope that it would continue with the vision it started out with, that it wouldn't get too watered down, that there would be a really well-balanced program. And I just hope that the wonderful opportunities that had opened up for me would be opened up to the girls. For a long time, I would be the only woman on the board or something like that. Things have changed now. It's wonderful. So that would be my dream, that they would have, because what I've been able to do has been because of the opportunities that were given to me and the support that I had, not just from other women, but from men too, especially from Rocky. So I would hope that those opportunities would open up for the girls from the academy, and I'm sure they will.
I'm happy to try to fit in. And I suppose I have some ideas what could be taught or should be taught. But as I said, I'm given the opportunities when I'm coming to talk to them, and nobody tells me what I should say. So I try to talk to the children about Jesus Christ and our relationship with Jesus Christ, or his relationship with us, and how that could kind of permeate the school. And I tell stories and whatever, and usually my homilies are only a few minutes long, but that's in a way a possibility for me to share my vision.
Well, I hope it's a good Catholic school, and that it has excellence in education, but also that it helps nurture the Catholic faith of the students who are here. I'm very impressed by having two of the best principals in the system in charge of the school.
Well, the vision is that we usually don't see on a day-to-day basis the improvements that are made in our students, whether they're small or great, and the improvements are always their character development and their faith development. So my vision for the school is that every single year we can have graduates who we will be proud of. Graduates who have achieved to the best of their ability, and graduates who are ready for senior high school, which is the next step in their education. Graduates who know who they are, who know that they belong to God and that they have talents that need to be developed. So if we can truly say that they're ready for the next school, that their trust and faith in God is strong, that they know how important they are, that they're precious. In God's eyes, they're precious, and that they're doing their level best in their achievement and in recognizing who they are, then that's my hope for the school, because then we can be sure that they will succeed and that they are making their mark on the world and on creation.